Hi guys, it's Astyn. Today we're going to discuss bipolar while I create this lovely look. Yes, bipolar. She loves me, she hates me. That kind of bipolar, only it's not actually like that. Where it comes from is that for a few months someone can be high, and for the next few months they can be very low. So manic, depressed, opposites, which is where that perception comes from that she either loves me or hates me, or her mood's happy one minute, sad the next. But it lasts for months on end for some people. Some people it's only weeks. So I hope this video was informational for you, and if you're interested in it, just keep watching and please subscribe to my channel, stick the bell on so you get notifications when I post, and I will see you in a moment. So as by the title and my introduction, you can see that I am bipolar or have bipolar. I don't mind being labelled. It doesn't particularly bother me. I'm just going to prime my eye first of all, and I'm using the L'Oreal Infallible Concealer. Just thought I'd go for this grungy look because it only took me like 10 minutes, and then I can really focus on the base, which is what I want to do for a change, rather than it always being centred on the eye makeup. I don't really do a lot of base work on camera, like priming and just full beat, like, yeah. So using the Sample Beauty palette, look how grubby it is already. I swear I'm not a pig. And I'm going to go in with the yellowy shade and the orange. So yeah, I have bipolar disorder, and I'm just going to zoom in. I was diagnosed 2 years ago, and it's taken me 10 years since my first diagnosis and original diagnosis of borderline personality disorder to get that diagnosis. I would say that I noticed, always dropping stuff. I noticed from my late teens that I was a bit different. I know, oh by the way, I'm bringing this out up above the brow bone, the yellow and orange. I've known since like my early teens that I was different from others. I realise my brain doesn't work the same way in which others does. I'm going into the burgundy shade. Yeah, so I noticed I was different, and the reasons being was I would often think, even as young as I was back then, that people could hear my thoughts, read my mind, and that was a continuing theme throughout my life. And at first I thought it was normal, and I didn't put it down to anything, but the more you speak to your peers and your partners as you grow older, you realise it was never normal. Not everybody actually, thinks that people can hear their thoughts and voice and control their thoughts, sorry. So yeah, it wasn't normal. And when I was younger, I was hallucinating even back then. I would think that any posters in the room were following me. My brother used to have a load of posters in his room, so it was really scary for me because their eyes would follow me. I've heard voices a lot of my life. I'm going into the black. So there was loads of things that I never told my psychiatrist at first when I was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, because I became to believe they were normal. It was all these years later, and I started to become seriously ill. Round about when I'm 28 now, so about 25, I would say my mental health started really declining and taking a turn for the worst. I was completely delusional that the social work were going to come and take my kids, and I would lock the doors, close all my curtains. I had no reason to think they were coming, but just in my head I was like, they're going to take my babies, they're going to take my babies. And I would sit there with knives under pillows, the doors locked, me walking back and forth. I was absolutely terrified, like, I mean genuinely terrified. It was so real to me that this possibility of having my kids took off me could happen. And that was such a scary time. And I wasn't sleeping, and I began to exercise way too much, more than I could ever imagine that my body was capable of. And I was just outputting all this extra energy. I was feeling great, but I was still agitated, irritable. It only took one little thing for me to snap, and that was it. It was really difficult to live with for quite some time, which I owe my husband an apology for. I do apologise for being so difficult at times. Yeah, so I done things like I was harming myself again. I was hearing loads of different voices. I was convinced that there was ghosts in the house that were following me and wanted to hurt me. And it was so real to me. Like, I just thought I could see ghosts. I also thought I was psychic for a wee while and started giving people readings from spirituality groups. Don't get me wrong, I was spot on, mate, but that's not the point. I don't even believe in psychic powers, and that's just a personal thing for me. Like, it could be real, it could absolutely be real, but for me, I need to see it to believe it, kind of thing. And I always think there's a way around it to appear psychic. I'm not sure how, but that's just in my head. So yeah, I thought I was psychic, even though I don't really believe in it. I'm just going to line my water line. Really darken that up. Like so. And then I've got to do my upper. But I'm just going to move on to skin just now. I can finish my eyes later. So what I like to do is I personally like to go in with a liquid highlighter or something of the sorts, like a illuminating primer. I just love the dewy look on skin for the most part. Some days I'll go for matte depending on how naughty my skin is being. Like, if I've really got bad acne, your very matte foundations are going to be the ones that cover up the most. So that's when I typically go for a matte foundation. But my acne is actually healing up at the moment, so I don't really feel the need to do it. So I have just went in with sleek highlighting drops. And I'm just smearing it all over my face and my wee heady head. So yeah, anyway, where was I at? I don't even know where I was at, to be honest with you. I always lose my train of thought when I'm talking about things like this. I'm using a concealing hydrate foundation. Yeah, so I was really ill. I was agitated, irritable. I had all this energy, and when I didn't get to output it in the gym or exercising, I became very agitated and would pace around the house a lot and stuff like that. I need to put more burgundy on this eye, as you can see. Yeah, I was pacing around a whole lot when I couldn't get to exercise. I had all these thoughts going through my head just constantly, constant racing thoughts, even about everyday things. It was just thought after thought after thought, and I felt like I had to keep thinking, or else my brain just felt completely empty. So I kept this train of thought going and going and going. And really only time I could relax, was when I was in the gym. Which is great, yeah. I was losing weight, I was feeling healthier. But it shouldn't have been my main focus when I've got kids and a husband and a home life. It shouldn't be my absolute need at the centre of my brain. So, yeah, that was quite different for me in terms of behaviours. But we all just saw it as this good thing. Then I increasingly started to become more paranoid about my husband. Even though he was doing nothing wrong, it wasn't his fault. I was just becoming increasingly paranoid that he was going to leave me. I just had all these thoughts, as I said, going through my head. I thought my kids were going to get taken off me. And one night, when we were having a night out, I just absolutely flipped. And I was like, enough is enough. And I ran to the top of a cliff in front of people and was going to jump off. My husband restrained me, thank God. He restrained me, and I was shouting, it doesn't matter anyway, I can't die. I was convinced that I was immortal and I wouldn't die if I jumped off it. And I was asking to let me prove it. An ambulance had to get called, the police had to get called. It was actually so embarrassing, well, it is embarrassing when I look back, but at the same time, I was so unwell. So I got an emergency psychiatrist. They finally let me out, and then I was referred to the mental health team, which took me a further 8 months, roughly, to be diagnosed with bipolar. I'm just contouring with my Revolution foundation stick, as you can see. Yeah, so that was quite a frightening experience for my husband. Me personally, I don't remember too much of it, to be honest with you. Your memory when you're manic goes blank. And I haven't even moved on to the depressive episodes. I don't really want to touch on that because everyone's moods are so low at the minute. I just don't want to be a Debbie Downer and bring more blah to the world. But if depression is something you want me to speak on, I will. I'm going into the Revolution coconut powder. No, it isn't. Yes, it is. It's I Heart Revolution. And I'm going to bake, because if you're going out, you want it to last all night. So, up the sides of my nose, because this helps contour it. Like so. And then my chin where I get acne. If you've got acne, setting your foundation is really good. It stops it slipping off. Getting powder all over my top. Okay, so I've just lined my upper eyeball. And I'm going to wipe this bake off because it's been sitting for a good few minutes. So I'll just do that. And because I don't like the matte look, I have a powder, if you give me a moment, that I find absolutely fantastic. It's the Revolution Skin Finish, and I've got it in Luminous. Yeah, Luminous. So I'm just going to start adding a little bit of sheen back into the skin, and this is very, very subtle. I don't even think you'd be able to see it on camera. Maybe a little bit. No. But in real life, it does add such a lovely, lovely glow to your skin. Yeah, you can start to see it here. Down the sides of my nose. But as you can see, that has contoured my nose to a whole different level. And my chin. And the upper lip. Just to powder that down so it doesn't slip everywhere. Then I'm going to go in with my setting spray, and it's the Revolution Glow one. Just going to move you up a bit. I always make such a strange noise. That was a lot. I'm sorry. Of setting powder. Setting spray. That was like... I finally dried a bit. However, I am going to go and put lashes on just to try and pull this look together a bit and then finish my base. So I'll be back with you shortly. So the lashes that are on, and they're big and they're full lashes, which unlike me, I normally go for portraits. I'm getting into my Hula bronzer. I'm just going to start buffing that into the skin, like so. So yeah, then I was diagnosed after obviously a few months with a mental health team and stuff, can't speak, I'm broken. Monitoring me. So then I was started on mood stabilizers called lamotrigine, and they have been absolutely life changing. I haven't had many hallucinations since. I haven't became as manic since. I have been manic, well, hypomanic, excuse that. I have been hypomanic since then, which is a lesser version of mania. It's actually been so good being somewhat normal, because what is normal? Nobody knows. And I've still got weekly appointments even a year later, which is absolutely amazing. I've had so much help. Just going to contour my head as well a bit, well bronze it, sorry. Yeah, I've had so much help put in place, and it's been amazing. It's been life changing. Like, I can't even thank staff enough for putting up with me. Bipolar is definitely no laughing matter, and I ain't often annoyed about jokes at mental health and stuff like that, like, oh, I'm heavy bipolar, changed my mind about 1,000 times today. Good on you, honey. Me too. But I'm using the Sub-Zero palette again, shade Bailey. Going again with another gust of setting spray. Lost my train of thought again. So yeah, I've been stable for a while now. It's been great. I just want you to know, like, hallucinations, for example, aren't what you see on TV. It isn't like this crazy emphasized version of hallucinations that you see on TV. It can be, it absolutely can be, but it's things like seeing shadows and believing they're ghosts. That becomes delusions. Thinking people can read your thoughts, delusions. Hallucination would be like, I saw blood prints on the ground once, and I thought something had happened to one of my kids, and it had never been there in the first place. It can be hearing things, hearing babies crying, someone screaming, voices coming out your TV when it's not on, and you're convinced that, well, it must have glitched, it must have been on, sort of thing. All these little mini things are hallucinations, and sometimes even as neurotypical people, they experience hallucinations at times of high stress. The difference with bipolar is that you experience it a lot more often and in a continuous pattern. I'm just going to go finish my lips off camera and then I'll be back. Hi, lips are on. So I've just brought that burgundy out a little bit further, same as the other eye. Keep it mitchy. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. This is the final look. Um, I hope my speech on bipolar was informational, to say the least. It isn't what you see in the crazy films, but it can be. I am high functioning, which means I function to a normal extent, and that bipolar isn't as evident in me. It was a lot harder to diagnose. Yeah, hallucinations, they aren't always as insane as some of the more extremes. It can be so simple as hearing noises, crying, screaming, laughing, creaking, hundreds of these things constantly, constantly seeing things, corner of your eye, hear peripheral vision, or actually seeing full on silhouettes and shadows and things, just seeing things that ain't there. Yeah, so it's great being bipolar. No, in all honesty, the mania can be productive at times. Like, I'm hypomanic now, and I've been doing YouTube consistently now for weeks on end, which I'm quite proud of. I'm always on the go. I've always got my house tidy because I've got so much energy. I'm feeling great all round. It's just what becomes of it when it gets worse, which, fingers crossed, now that I'm medicated, it doesn't. Yeah, it can become quite bad, which was evident when I says to you about hurting myself and trying to jump off cliffs, and I was just completely deranged. I just didn't understand what was going on around me, my thoughts, my feelings, anything like that. So it can be quite scary when someone is just, their mind has went too far. Yeah. So I will see you in the next video. Sorry. If you've got anything you'd like me to talk about, just let me know down below.